Hello, this is Janila, the person behind Crafty Crochet Castle, and in this video I'll show you the pattern to crochet the apple. This tutorial is beginner friendly and this project works up quickly and it is a perfect scrap yarn project. These apples would make lovely teacher's gifts. Even though the pattern has basic crochet stitches, I would rate the difficulty as intermediate as we are adding some shape to the top of our apple and the bottom of our apple to make it more realistic. You can choose to add facial details if you would prefer that. I hope you would crochet this along with me. The apple itself is about 3 inches tall and with the stem it comes up to 3.5 inches and the apple at its widest width is about 3.5 inches as well. To crochet this project, I'm using worsted weight yarn in 3 colors, green, red, and you would need a tiny amount of yarn in brown. This is 100% acrylic yarn and I'm using 4.5 mm crochet hook along with this. Gauge is not a critical factor for this project, but make sure to choose a hook that is 1 or 2 sizes smaller than the recommended hook size for your yarn weight. You would also need scissors, yarn needle, stitch markers. If you would like to attach eyes, you would need safety eyes. I'm using 12 mm safety eyes here, and for the mouth, I'm using a black thread and needle and embroidering the details. If you would like to add white highlights for your eyes, you would need a tiny amount of white yarn as well, and you would need some polyfill stuffing. The details of these materials are in the description box below. Now let us start crocheting the apple. So I'm taking my red yarn here. I will do a magic circle first. To do a magic circle, I'm taking my yarn and I will wrap it around my 2 fingers. I'll cross it over at the point where both the yarn meets and I will pinch here and carefully take these 2 fingers out. Next, I'll insert my hook inside this little loop, yarn over and bring a loop. Now I'll take all my fingers out and hold everything in place, and I'll make sure the loop on the hook is not too loose or not too tight, and then I will yarn over and bring a loop. This yarn is from the skein end. So now we have done a magic circle here. This ring is adjustable. When you pull the tail, the ring will get smaller and smaller and we'll be working around 1 stitches on these 2 strands of yarn over here. If you find it hard to work with a magic circle, you can always do chain 2 and work your round 1 stitches in the second chain from the hook. So now let's start working on the round 1 stitches, which is 8 single crochet in the ring. To do a single crochet, I'll insert my hook, yarn over and bring up a loop. So now I have 2 loops on the hook. I'll yarn over and pull through both the loops at once. This is called as the single crochet. Now I'll do 7 more single crochet here so that we have a total of 8 single crochet for round 1. You can always turn your stitches like this and count the number of V's to get the total stitch count. So each V is 1 stitch. After you've done a total of 8 stitches, make sure to hold the stitches with one hand and grab the tail in the other, and you can pull the tail. See how the ring is getting smaller and smaller. When you pull it hard enough, the opening will be closed. So for this pattern of the apple, we'll be working in rounds and I'm not going to join at the end of each round unless I mention it. And if you would like to mark the last stitch of each round, you can use a stitch marker or a piece of another color yarn to mark so. By using a stitch marker, we can work on the repeat pattern easily without having to count the total number of stitches for that round. So now let's work on round 2. For round 2, I'll be working 2 single crochet in every stitch around. So in my very first stitch, I will work 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And I will work 2 single crochet in every stitch around. Round 2 will have a total of 16 single crochet. So when you're at the last stitch over here, you can remove the stitch marker, work the stitches for that round. Here I will do 2 single crochets and we can place the stitch marker back in the last stitch. So now let's work round 3. For round 3, the repeat pattern is 2 single crochet in the next stitch. Followed by 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So I'll be repeating this pattern all the way around till I'm at the last stitch over here, which is marked by the stitch marker. Round 3 will have a total of 24 single crochet. Sometimes the magic circle opening will begin to open up. At that time, you just have to grab the tail and pull it again, and the opening will be closed again. So in order to avoid this, here I have a little tip for you. Make sure to turn your project to the wrong side. Grab your yarn needle and thread the tail in it. Make sure to completely close the magic circle, and then we can secure it with a knot over here in the wrong side. I'm just using one of the loops on the stitches over here to make a knot. And once when you do so, you can just take your needle out and leave this as such, because this will be on the inside of our project. So you can leave the tail just like that. So now let's continue working on our pattern. So for the next 3 rounds, which is rounds 4, 5 and 6, we'll be working on the same pattern. The pattern is 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So we'll be just crocheting 1 single crochet around like this for 3 rounds. So I'm going to crochet 1 single crochet around for round 4, and I'm going to remove the stitch marker, complete round 4, place the stitch marker back in the last stitch of round 4, and I'm going to repeat that for rounds 5 and 6. I'll meet you once when I complete round 6. This is how our project looks at the end of round 6. Our apple has begun to form a shape. Now let's crochet round 7. For round 7, the repeat pattern is 2 single crochet in the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. I'll be repeating this pattern around, and round 7 will have a total of 30 single crochet. I'll meet you when I'm at the last stitch over here. The pattern for round 8 is 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Round 8 will have a total of 30 single crochet. I'll meet you after I complete round 8. The repeat pattern for round 9 is 2 single crochet in the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. I'll be repeating this pattern around, and round 9 will have a total of 36 single crochet. I'll meet you after I complete round 9. For round 10, I'll crochet 1 single crochet all the way around. Round 10 will have a total of 36 single crochet. I'll crochet a single crochet around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 10. For round 11, the repeat pattern is 2 single crochet in the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So I'll be repeating this pattern around, and round 11 will have a total of 42 single crochet. I'll meet you after I complete the round. The next 2 rounds, that is rounds 12 and 13 have the same pattern. The pattern for these two rounds are one single crochet in every stitch around. So we'll be working on our rounds like this. Each round will have a total of 42 single crochet, and I'll meet you at the end of round 13. This is how our apple looks at the end of round 13. Now let's start closing up our apple. So from this round, we'll be working on our single crochet decreases. So for round 14, the repeat pattern is single crochet 2 together or a single crochet decrease. To do so, I'll insert my hook in the next stitch, yarn over and bring up a loop. So now I have 2 loops on the hook. Instead of finishing this stitch, I'll insert my hook inside the next stitch, yarn over and bring up a loop. So now we have a total of 3 loops on the hook. We have taken 2 stitches on the bottom. Now I'll yarn over and pull through all 3 loops at once. This stitch is called as the single crochet 2 together or a single crochet decrease. And I'll do 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. This will be the repeat pattern for the round. I'll be repeating this pattern around, and round 14 will have a total of 36 stitches. I'll meet you once when I complete all the stitches in round 14. Repeat pattern for round 15 is a single crochet 2 together or a single crochet decrease, followed by 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. I'll be repeating this pattern around, and round 15 will have a total of 30 stitches. I'll meet you after I complete round 15. The repeat pattern for round 16 is a single crochet 2 together or a single crochet decrease, followed by 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. I'll be repeating this pattern around, and round 16 will have a total of 24 stitches. I'll meet you after I complete round 16. This is how our project will look at the end of round 16. For round 17, the repeat pattern is a single crochet 2 together or a single crochet decrease, followed by 1 single crochet in the next stitch. I'll be repeating this pattern around, and this round will have a total of 16 stitches. After the last stitch of the round, we can put a pause to this project, and we can attach eyes if you would prefer that. For the eyes, I'm using a 12 mm safety eye here. If you do not have this, you can embroider the eyes as well, or use other options such as plastic eye, and you can hot glue it to your project as well. I'll be attaching eyes between round 9 and 10. Make sure to follow your apple's curve, and then you can attach one eye directly below that. And the other eye 5 stitches apart, and we can embroider the mouth below the eyes. This is optional, but if you would like, you can embroider the eyelashes as well. And take a very tiny amount of white yarn, and you can embroider it under the eyes. After adding the optional facial details, I'm going to stuff the apple with some polyfill stuffing. Now let us work on the last round for our apple, which is round 18. In this round, I will do a single crochet 2 together or a single crochet decrease for a total of 8 times. At the end of the round, I'm going to join with a slip stitch in my next stitch. To do so, I'll insert my hook in the next stitch, yarn over and bring a loop through the stitch and through the loop on the hook. Now we can finish off over here. To finish it off, I'm going to leave a very long tail. We'll be using this tail to close the opening and to add the shape to the apple. So make sure the tail is long enough and then you can trim the yarn over here. Next, I'm going to yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook all the way through and tighten this up. So there we have completed our apple. Now let's see how to close the opening. To do so, I'm going to grab my yarn needle and I'm going to thread the tail in it. So now I'm going to insert this needle through the front loop of all the stitches remaining in the last round. So normally when we are working a stitch, we'll be inserting our hook through the V-shaped loops over here, that is 2 loops. So for this, I'll be inserting only in the loop that is towards you, that is the front loops. So once when we have inserted it through all the stitches over here, you can grab the tail and pull it. See how the opening is getting closed? The opening is completely closed and now you can secure it with a knot over here. Next step is to add some shape. To do so, I'm going to take my needle, insert it through the center of our top of the apple, and I'm going to bring the needle to the bottom of our apple through the center. So now I'm going to pull it tight on the bottom. See how we are forming a little shape over here. So once when we do this, we can secure it over here with a knot. So I'm going to secure it between round 1 and round 2 stitch over here. So I'm going to bring my yarn here first and then I'm going to put a knot over here. So there is the little dimple for our apple over here. We want a little shape at the bottom of our apple also. So make sure to add shapes to both ends of the apple like this. So here I'll be inserting a yarn between the bottom center and round 1. So here I have a little dimple on the bottom and on the top of our apple as well. So now it's time to weave in the tail. To weave in the tail, I'm going to insert my needle next to the yarn over here and bring the needle out through the stuffing and through any spot in our apple. This time, make sure not to pull it too tight because we do not want to lose our shape of the project over here. And then we can trim it off over here. So there we have completed our apple. Now let us crochet the leaf. I'm taking my green yarn here. I will do a slip knot followed by chain 9. To do a chain, I'll yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook. So there's 1 chain. I'll make 8 more chains here. So we'll be working our leaf on these chains. So in the 3rd chain from the hook, this is the 1st chain, this is the 2nd, and this is the 3rd chain. Here I will do a half double crochet. To do a half double crochet, I'll yarn over, insert my hook in the chain, yarn over and bring up a loop. So now we have a total of 3 loops on the hook. I'll yarn over and pull through all 3 loops at once. This stitch is called as the half double crochet. I will do 1 more half double crochet in the next chain. Now I will do double crochet in the next 4 chains. To do a double crochet, I'll yarn over, insert my hook in the chain, yarn over and bring up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on the hook. So instead of yarning over and pulling through all 3 loops at once like a half double crochet, we are going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. We have 2 loops remaining. I'll yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. So this stitch is called as the double crochet, and this is slightly taller than the half double crochet. So now let's do 1 half double crochet in the next 3 chains as well. So now we'll be on the very first chain that we did here. So in this chain, I will do 2 half double crochets. A picot, that is chain 3. A slip stitch in the very first chain that we did here. And then I will do 1 more half double crochet in the same chain. So now our project would have turned and we'll be working on the other side of our chains over here. So while working, I'll keep my tail on top of our project like this so that this will get weaved in while we work our leaf. So in the next 4 chains, I will do 1 double crochet each. See how this tail is sitting on top of our chains over here, and it is weaved in as we work our stitches. So now in the next 2 chains, I will work 1 half double crochet each. And now I will do chain 2 here and a slip stitch in the center of our leaf. And then I will do chain 3. And we can finish off over here. So here we have completed our leaf. We can weave in this tail later. And there's a little tip for you. If you have weaved in your tail while working on the leaf, you can just pull the tail a little bit so that our leaf will have a little cool shape over here. Now let us crochet the stem. I'm using my brown yarn here. I will do a slip knot followed by 8 chains. In the second chain from the hook, I will do a slip stitch, and I will do a slip stitch in the next 3 chains here. Now I will take my leaf and I will place my leaf like this on top of our stem over here, and I will be attaching the leaf over here. So I will be inserting my hook in the second chain of the last chain 3 of our leaf, and then I will insert in the next chain of the stem, and I will do a slip stitch here, and I will insert my hook in the last chain of our leaf and in the next chain of the stem, and I will do a slip stitch here, and there'll be 1 more chain remaining on the stem. I will do a slip stitch here. So here we are attaching the leaf directly onto the stem, and once when we finish working on all the chains, I'm going to leave a long tail and we can trim it off over here. So there we have crocheted the stem and we have attached our leaf onto the stem. So this is one less step in sewing the leaf onto the stem. Final step is to take our apple and attach this stem onto the center of our apple over here. For that, I'm taking my yarn needle once again. I'm going to thread the brown tail in a yarn needle and sew the stem to the top center of our apple. Once when we do that, we can weave in the brown tail. And we can weave in the green tail as well. To weave in the green tail, I'm going to thread the green tail in a yarn needle, and I'm going to turn my leaf to the wrong side. I'm going to bring this tail through the chains and to the back side of our leaf over here. Next, I'm going to weave it in the wrong side. So to do so, I'll be inserting this needle through the loops in the wrong side. You can choose to weave it in any direction. That is, you can go up to down, zigzag, or even in a random manner. But make sure to grab only loops each time. And once when you think you have weaved in enough, you can turn your project, and this time you can weave it in, grabbing a different set of loops. So make sure to pull it tight and adjust the position of the leaf a little so that you can add some shape to it. And once when you think you have weaved in enough, you can take the needle out, adjust your leaf, and then you can trim it off over here. You can weave in the other brown tail as well. This is how the apple looks after weaving in all the ends. We have a little dimple on the top and bottom of our apple, and we have little facial details as well. I hope you enjoy crocheting this along with me. Please show your support by subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching.